What's up guys, Joe Munoz, OneStepPrep.com, and in this video we're going to talk about interviewing at the carrier of your dreams. In recent weeks we've done several in-person interview preps, and I just want to share with you a couple things regarding the interview process. All right, typically I like to say the interview follows 5 steps, if you will. The first impression, the small talk, the technical questions, your questions, and the closing. Let me say that again a little bit slower. First impression. It is what it sounds like. You only have one opportunity to make a first impression, by the way, because everything after that becomes a second, third, and fourth, and so on. The small talk. Hey, welcome. Did you find the place okay? Where's home for you? I see you went to school here. How was the traffic? How was the weather? The interview hasn't formally begun, although it kind of has begun. All right? The technical questions. This is where they tell me about a time. They ask you about why do you want to come fly for us? Why do you want to leave your current employer? Tell us what your greatest weakness is. Why should we not hire you? You know, we've got a lot of qualified candidates applying. What sets you apart from all of them? What is a trait that you believe you can develop? What is your leadership style? Tell me about a time you broke an FAR. There's so many questions we can go through. Then, of course, your questions. They'll ask you if you have a question. And ideally, you do have a calibrated question that suggests that you've done your homework and you know something about the carrier that you're applying to go fly for. And finally, the closing, where we make our last impression, as I like to say, the lasting impression. And so I'm going to leave you with one tip here, which is remember that when we go interview at a company, you're not interviewing at a company, you're interviewing with people, because companies are comprised of people. And when I go into an airline and to any interview environment, really what I want to do is make an impression that you are a long-term value-add proposition and you have all intent to add value to them as an entity. And so we're going to aim to respond with not self-serving questions, but selfless questions that present you or position you to be in a position to add value to them and not to take. I am a positive, not a negative. I am a fountain, not a drain. So many ways I can really structure this with analogies, but really what I want to share with you is to understand these 5 segments of the interview process. Give you some insight as to what they may ask, how to answer these with selfless questions as opposed to self-serving, and really invite you to do an interview prep with us here online or here in person in Miami if you're in Miami local. But even if you're not, we can do it virtually. Now, the interview prep program, there's a video course you can get, onestepprep.com/interview. Everything on how to interview, what to say, what not to say, when to say, how to dress, everything broken down there for you through these 5 phases of the interview. We actually recorded this jointly with King Schools, John and Martha King. You probably have heard the name before. So you can grab that at onestepprep.com/interview. But if you really want to elevate yourself to position yourself well for the opportunity of a lifetime to land that job, I would very highly recommend you do it in person with us, whether here in Miami or, as I said, virtually. It's a 2-hour event and you're going to get a whole slew of value added to you. The package includes the video, the audio program, a 13-page easy read ebook, along with a 2-hour webinar that we're going to do in person with you, where we can really focus in on exactly how you're answering these questions. All right, so onestepprep.com/interview. And I want to leave you with one final thing. When you're considering what the cost is of the prep, also consider what the cost is of not doing the prep. And I say this a lot, when you're considering anything in your life, not only to consider the cost of doing something, but the cost of not doing something. Because I've seen plenty of cases where the cost of doing something was minimal, it was elected to not carry it out, and the cost of not doing it is giving up your lifelong career at the carrier of your dreams. So we wouldn't want that to be the case for you. So don't let that be the case. onestepprep.com/interview. We'll see you there.